a stretcher. She be like, you a part-timer. I will offline you. Stay far from y'all.
EA Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is a beautiful Sunday night here in Philly. The Eagles fans are out here in full force, and Saquon Barkley is ready to get us started here. Coming out the tunnel now, the previous Super Bowl champions. Saquon Barkley hyping the men up. The Eagles mascot walking them in. And they are flying out now. Welcome to Philly, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, AJ, and we are in for an NFC firefight between the Detroit Lions and the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles fans can always cause something crazy to happen, but these Detroit Lions are 8-1. They lost in week 1 and have not lost since. But hey, anything's possible any given Sunday, and especially any given Sunday night. So let's get this game underway. Fox is going to kick it off for us, and we are underway on Sunday night as the last shreds of daylight disappear from Philly. Return's going to come out to the 26, and out comes Jalen Hurts, who has had a pretty good season so far. He is always made fun of for just riding the momentum of his team, but he has had an incredible season thus far. Going to hand it off to Saquon Barkley on the first play of the game, and Aiden Hutchinson is going to bring him down for a 4-yard loss. This Lions defense does not mess around. The Eagles might be the number 5 offense in the league, but the Lions defense is ready and willing to meet him on every single play. Saquon's going to motion to the left side. Hurts is going to throw it to him. He's going to get a few leading blocks there, and he is going to get a nice speed boost, and that is going to be a 20-yard pass that is going to bring up first down for the Eagles. Hurts now under center, 2 men in the backfield. Going to hand it off there. That is Shipley on the handoff, gain of about 3 yards as we get a beautiful look at Lincoln Financial Field tonight. Absolutely gorgeous tonight in Philly, I mean, most parts of Philly aren't that gorgeous, especially when it comes nighttime, but Lincoln Financial Field seems to be beautiful for this Sunday night. That is going to be Shipley on yet another rush, and that one is going to be a gain of about 4 yards. 3rd and 3 now. Hurts with the back line up to his right. Going to motion Goddard to the left side, looking to pass. Firing over the middle, and that is going to be caught by A.J. Brown, who is going to get substantial yardage there. Almost 20 yards on that one, if not more. That's 22 yards, in fact. Just a quick throw over the middle, and he was just able to keep running. Yards after completion are one of the hardest stats to get right as a wide receiver, but A.J. Brown did a phenomenal job there. 1st and 10 now from inside the 30. Hurts with Barkley lined up to his left. He's going to choose to hand it off to him, and he is going to be swallowed up for no gain there. That was Williams on that tackle, along with an assist from Hutchinson, and that is going to bring up 2nd and 10. Hurts now back lined up to his right now. Going to motion over receiver to the left side. Going to throw quickly over the middle, and that is going to be dropped. That was DeMarcus Robinson attempting to catch it, but he just wasn't able to keep his hands on it. Hurts now looking to throw again, He's going to scramble for it, the Jalen Hurts Classic, and he is going to get 12 yards on that one. Plenty enough for a first down. And that is going to bring the Eagles into the red zone. Hurts now under center, man in the backfield. Going to hand it off, and he is going to be swallowed up immediately. Will Campbell almost immediately bottled that up. And then that was Hassanine who got the final word on that tackle. 2nd and 15 now. Hurts with the back line up to his right. Gonna motion Robinson over. Fake the handoff to Robinson, and the rush is going to... That was also Robinson, I believe. But that was yet another loss. That one a loss of 1. And now it is 3rd and very long. Saquon lined up to Hurts' left here. Gonna motion Barkley out. Gonna fire deep over the middle. That was intended for Demarcus Robinson, but that was into double coverage, and he just wasn't able to make the reception there. Just another example of the Detroit Lions defense being absolutely incredible. Field goal is up. It is good, and that is going to bring the Eagles into the lead. You got down into the red zone very quickly, but just got absolutely stopped there by the Lions defense. Jake Elliott going to kick this one off to the Eagles. And that is going to be taken all the way out to about the 30, and that is where Jared Goff is going to get us started. He has also been having a very good season. The stats aren't like mind-blowing, but with help such as Jahmyr Gibbs, they have been the 2nd offense in the league, and it is definitely shown in their record. Goff under center now. Williams motioning over. The handoff is going to be to the speed man himself, Jahmyr Gibbs. Taking a look at what I believe might be his stats from last week. It was not an incredible week for him, but they did end up getting the win. And that is one of the focal points of this Lions offense. If one aspect crumbles, there are plenty ready to take their spot. If the run game doesn't work out, the pass game can compensate for it. But they're not going to need it there, as Jahmyr Gibbs gets plenty enough for a first down. 1st and 10 here. Gibbs going to hand it off to David Montgomery. One of the craziest running back duos in the NFL currently, nicknamed Sonic and Knuckles. And it can absolutely be seen why. Both of them are absolute speed demons. Fake the handoff there. Going to throw to the right side. That's going to be caught. That is Amon-Ra St. Brown, who is going to break multiple tackles and get all the way down to the 22-yard line. That was a 30-yard gain there, and that is going to bring up 1st and 10 for the Lions. Hand off to Montgomery is bottled up pretty quickly. He manages to get 2 yards still, bringing them into the red zone, but that is going to bring up 2nd and 8. Goff now back lined up to his left. Going to hand it off to Montgomery again, who's going to break a tackle and get inside the 10. That was more than 10 yards on that rush. It's going to bring up 1st and goal now from the Eagles' 8-yard line. Goff now alone in the backfield. What many people would consider to be goal line offense. Dan Campbell does a classic. That one is going to be intended for one of the receivers, but there's going to be pass interference on Quinyon Mitchell that is going to bring it all the way down to the 1-yard line. Maybe Dan Campbell's a genius causing pass interference there, but who knows. Goff now back lined up to his right, going to look to pass, and that is going to be quick catch over the middle to Sam Laporta. Touchdown, Lions. And that right there is why the Lions are 8-1. Just an absolute masterclass in play calling there, getting the PI, and then immediately just throwing a quick draw pass. Point after attempts now. Kick is up. It is good. And the Lions have a lead here in Philly. I would call that a long sustained drive, but it wasn't long in terms of time. That was a 71-yard drive in only 4 minutes. Kick is away now. Going to be taken from about the 1 or 2 yard line. And it is going to be brought out to about the 24. As we take a look at Jalen Hurts, who is currently tied second in QB rushing touchdowns. Many people would blame the tush push for that, but he has also gotten plenty that have not been because of that play. Starting off this drive now, Hurts alone in the backfield. Going to look to pass here. Going to try to scramble up the middle, and that is going to be a sack by Watts there. That is the Lions defensive line, led by Aiden Hutchinson, showing why they are one of the best in the league. 2nd and 13 now. Hurts with Saquon lined up to his right. Handoff there. That is going to be Barkley, who is going to lose more yardage with the aforementioned Aiden Hutchinson. 3rd and 18 now. From the 16, they've only gone backwards this drive. Hurts going to attempt to gain yardage, looking to pass here. Can't find anyone open. Going to throw quickly. And that is going to be Dallas Goedert getting about 5 yards there as one of the Eagles' offensive linemen seems a little shaken up. We're going to hope he's okay, and we are going to be back in just a moment with 4th and 13. Looking to punt now for the Eagles. From about the 10-yard line, punt is away. Looks like it's going to be taken from about the 34, and it's going to be brought out to about the 39. Taking a look at the Detroit Lions rushing average today, and this is proof of how lethal they've been. Almost 140 yards rushing per game on the season, one of the highest in the entire league. And Jahmyr Gibbs has been no small part of that. Goff going to look to pass here. Over the middle, in between Laporta and Amon-Ra St. Brown, and neither of them were able to make the catch. 2nd and 10 now. Goff with Gibbs lined up to his right. Going to hand it off to Gibbs, and he is going to be immediately hit and tackled for a loss of 1. 3rd and 11 now. Goff with the back lined up to his left. Goff going to motion a man left. Looking to throw, just going to fire a quick one, and that is going to be down the sideline. That is Patrick, Tim Patrick, I believe, with a insanely throw. That is 52 yards. Definitely the longest play so far this game. Going to bring up 1st and goal for the Lions. They're going to hand it off to Jahmyr Gibbs, who is going to gain little yardage, if any. And that is going to bring us to the end of the 1st quarter. Taking a look at some of the plays so far, the Eagles stopping Jahmyr Gibbs on that play. And then the quick little touchdown pass to Sam Laporta. As we are going to get ready for the 2nd quarter now. Goff with the back line up to his left for 2nd and goal. Going to pitch it to the left side to Jahmyr Gibbs, who's going to break a tackle and get down to the 7. About 2 or 3 yards gained there, and that is going to bring up 3rd and goal from the 7. Goff now motioning a man to the right. Going to look to pass here. Firing, that's caught by Sam Laporta. Actually, it was dropped in the deep coverage. And that is going to bring up 4th and goal. It wouldn't be unlike Dan Campbell to go for this, but he is just going to decide to take the points. Little field goal attempt here. Kick is up and good. And the Lions have now taken a 7-point lead thanks to Bates on that kick. Jack Fox. Kickoff is away. Going to be taken from about the 5-yard line and be brought out to about the 25. Taking a look at passing yards leaders, and Jalen Hurts is in fact 3rd on that list. He has been playing pretty efficiently so far this season. First and 10 now. Hurts with the back line up to his left. Going to motion Dallas Goedert to the right side. Going to quickly pass it over the middle. That is going to be Devonta Smith finding an angle and getting all the way down to midfield. 26 yards on that one. Ball was just a quick one thrown over the middle, and he just managed to find a seam and just get a large gain. Hurts under center now, 2 men in the backfield. Going to motion one of them to the right side. Going to hand it off to Barkley, who's going to break a few tackles and get 5 yards. Into Lions territory now, 2nd and 5. Hurts under center, 2 men in the backfield. And he is going to get very little yardage there, if anything. This is going to be taken down as no gain, and that is going to bring up 3rd and 5. From the Lions 44 now, Hurts going to look to pass here. Throw a quick one, and that is going to be Dallas Goedert, who is going to get 14 yards on that reception. Certainly nothing to scoff at, as it is enough for a first down. Quick pass over the middle. Managed to dodge one defensive player and drag another along for about 5 extra yards after the completion. 1st and 10 now from the 30. Hurts going to motion it back to the left side. Now alone in the backfield. Going to look to pass. Firing over the middle, and that is going to be Demarcus Robinson with a 15-yard gain there. That is going to bring up 1st and 10 in the red zone from the 14-yard line of the Lions. Hurts now with the back line up to his right. Looking to pass, firing one to the back of the end zone, intended for Amon-Ra St. Brown. Sorry, no, intended for A.J. Brown, but he was unable to keep his hands on it. Going to hand it off to Barkley now, who is going to lose a little bit less than a yard there. Jack Campbell on the tackle. That is going to bring up 3rd and 11. Hurts now with the back line up to his left. Going to motion him slightly further out. Hurts now. Going to look to pass. That's going to be caught over the middle. And that is going to be Will Shipley for the touchdown. Smith and Robinson joining him on that celebration. Just a quick throw over the middle, and he just managed to beat out Jack Campbell there and just run it in. Nice little touchdown celebration we've seen from a lot of the Eagles players. Jake Elliott now for the PAT. Kick is up. It is good. And we are back to a tie game, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, it looks like one of the Eagles' linemen is a little bit shaken up. I believe he was also shaken up slightly earlier in the game, but he is once again going to take a break on the sideline. Elliott going to kick this one off now. Going to be taken from about the goal line, and it's going to be brought out by Tesla to the 25. Taking a look at Gibbs' season so far, and he has had a pretty good one, averaging plenty of yards per carry. I believe that was around 7 or 8, and 4 touchdowns along with it. Goff now back on up to his left, looking to pass. Going to fire quickly to Jahmyr Gibbs, who is able to get a few yards after catch, getting 8 total for 2nd and 2. Goff now under center. Gibbs in the backfield. Going to motion Laporta over to the left side. And Gibbs is going to manage to squeak through that defensive line and get just enough for the first down. 1st and 10 now from the 35 of the Lions. Goff under center. Back in the backfield. Going to motion Jamison Williams to the left side. Going to hand it off to Montgomery there, who's going to gain about 2 yards, and that is going to bring up 2nd and 8. 2nd and 8 now. Goff with the back line up to his left. Going to motion in Patrick. Looking to pass now. Goff going to fire over the middle, and that is going to fly high over Amon-Ra St. Brown. Just wasn't able to get the jump to get it either. And that is going to bring up 3rd and 8. Goff now alone in the backfield, going to look to pass yet again. Going to be hit as he throws, and that is going to be almost intercepted. Smith on the pressure there. And he was just able to make the ball come out a little wobbly, and that is going to cause it to fall dead, bringing up 4th and 8. Jack Fox going to punt this one away for the Lions. It's going to be taken from about the 17. It's going to be brought out to about the 22. Taking a look at the Philadelphia Eagles, they have also had a very respectable rushing game so far this season, averaging a little over 100 yards per game. But when you have Barkley and Hurts in the backfield, stuff like that is just inevitable. 1st and 10 now. Hurts, Barkley lined up to his left. Going to motion Goddard to the right. Throw an absolute floater down the sideline. Intended for Devonta Smith, but that was into double coverage, and he was not able to make the catch. 2nd and 10 now. Hurts going to look to pass yet again. Going to fire one deep down the field again as well. It's going to be intended for A.J. Brown, but that is going to be Robertson on the coverage there, just preventing him from getting that. 3rd and 10 now. Hurts with a back line up to his left, going to look to pass for yet another time, and going to throw yet another deep ball. And that one is going to actually work out for them. Oh, it was caught out of bounds. Devonta Smith got his hands on it, but he was out of bounds. And that is going to be a 3 and out for the Eagles. Punt is away now. Looks like it's going to be fielded from about the 23, and it's going to be brought out to about the 33. It's going to bring up 1st and 10 now as Goff gets ready to start this next drive. First and 10 now. Goff, 2 men in the backfield. Going to look to hand it off to Gibbs here, who is going to get a speed boost down the middle. Break free, and he is going to beat out Cooper DeJean, the safety, as well. And he is going to be home free. Touchdown, Lions. Jahmyr Gibbs, masterclass right there. About 66 yards on that one. He beat out one man after another. Beat out Blankenship, beat out number 21, and then last but not least, beat out Cooper DeJean. And that was enough to get him all the way.
The kicker on for the point after.
Jesse Bates now on the point after attempt. Kick is up. It is good. And that is going to be a 1-score lead once again. One play is all Dan Campbell needs on a 68-yard run by Jahmyr Gibbs. Fox now to kick this one off. I mean, when you have the number 2 and number 5 offense playing each other, a shootout is just to be expected. And that looks like what is developing so far today. Hurts is going to get ready for yet another drive now from his own 25. First and 10 now. Hurts with the back lined up to his left. Going to look to hand it off to Barkley here, who's going to manage to break multiple defenders and get enough for a first down. That was about 12 yards on the game, and that is going to bring up first down for the Eagles. Starting from their own 37 here. Hurts is going to drop back, looking to pass. Going to fire quickly over the middle to Barkley, who's going to get about 7 yards on that one. Down to the 45, going to bring up 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 40.
Hurts going to motion a man to the right side. It's going to be handed off to the backup running back, who is going to get enough for a first down. That is Will Shipley, who's going to get about 6 yards there, and that is going to bring them out to directly midfield.
First and 10 at the 50.
Hurts now going to hand it off to Shipley yet again, and he is going to have a bit less luck that time, only getting about 1 yard.
Branch on the tackle.
Hurts now back lined up to his right,
Up second and 10.
going to pitch it to the right side. And that time, no biting whatsoever, as Rodriguez is going to tackle him for a loss of 3 there.
Back at his 48-yard line.
Hurts now back lined up to his right. Going to motion DeMarcus Robinson to the right side. Hurts is going to look to pass. It's going to be caught by Dallas Goedert to the right side, and that is going to be enough for a first down. Little more than 15 on that one, as it is going to bring up yet another first down for the Eagles.
First and 10 at the 35-yard
Hurts
line.
doesn't look like he's going to snap this before we get to the 2-minute warning, with the score being 17-10 as of now. First and 10 now from 2 minutes left on the clock at the Lions' 35-yard line. Hurts alone in the backfield, going to fire a quick one over the middle. And it looks like Goddard was able to keep his hands on it just long enough before it popped out, and it is going to be ruled a catch for 4 yards. Hurts motioning Barkley out now, alone in the backfield yet again. Going to throw to the right side, and that is going to be caught by DeMarcus Robinson yet again. And that is going to be enough for yet another Eagles first down. It was enough for about 10 yards. Hurts now going to be throwing to the right side, caught by Barkley, and he is going to run out of bounds just before the end zone. Bringing up first and goal now after the 20-yard reception from the 2-yard line. Going to be thrown over the middle, and that was just a cluster of men from both sides of the ball. I guess it was intended for A.J. Brown, allegedly, according to the stadium announcer. Hurts going to throw again. That one's going to be caught by Goddard, and that is going to be a gain of about 1 yard on the jump catch by the tight end. So good for Goddard on that one. Third and goal now with 1 yard to the end zone. Hurts now, 2 men in the backfield. Going to actually look to pass here, and Jalen Hurts is going to take it in himself. To the left side, Jalen Hurts with a not tush-push rushing touchdown. Faked the pass and then just immediately dashed out to the left side there. Beat out number 92 Davenport, who was the only man who probably could have stopped him. And if Jake Elliott gets this point after attempt, which he will, we are going to be back to a tied game. Nice sustained drive there, 12 plays, and that is going to bring up the kickoff with, ironically enough, because the NFL announcers love saying it, I cannot be free from the curse either. 67 seconds left on the clock as the Lions are going to get this drive started. And it is going to be a great return all the way out to the 37-yard line. Taking a look at Jahmyr Gibbs' stats again, he is already close to 1,000 yards on the season. He might even get it this game if he has yet another rush like the one he did on the Lions' last drive. First and 10 now. Goff going to look to pass real quick. That's going to be Tim Patrick over the middle, getting almost enough for a first down. Lions now in hurry-up offense. 50 seconds left. Goff going to throw over the middle again. That one's going to be caught by Sam Laporta. And Dan Campbell is going to take his second timeout of the half. You can see the Philadelphia skyline in the background there. First and 10 now from the 40-yard line. 40 seconds left. Goff going to look to pass yet again. Going to be hit as he throws. It is Tim Patrick almost able to run forward and grab it despite it being a wobbly ball. Second and 10 now. Goff with the back lined up to his right. Going to motion Sam Laporta out to the left side. Goff is going to look to pass again, and that's going to be quickly caught by Sam Laporta. And he is going to get about 6 yards there.
It's a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd and
3rd and 4 now. with the clock ticking past 30 seconds left. Goff going to throw real quick to Jahmyr Gibbs there, and he is going to get enough for a first down. Lions now in hurry-up offense yet again after the 11-yard gain by Gibbs. Goff looking to throw now, and he's going to throw over the middle to Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Dan Campbell is going to take his final time out of the half as we get ready for 1st and goal from the 4. Goff now throwing quickly, and that is going to be unable to be caught by Amon-Ra St. Brown. 2nd and goal now with the clock stopped at 14 seconds from the 4-yard line. Goff looking to pass again. Going to throw real quick, and that is the man, the myth, the legend, Jameson Williams with that catch. And the Lions, just before the half ends here, going to take the lead yet again, throwing as he was just walking out of the pocket. And Jameson Williams is really happy to have him get another touchdown. He's been kind of overshadowed by Amon-Ra St. Brown recently, so he is surely happy about that one. Point after attempt now is up, and that one is actually going to be no good. The lead, instead of being 7, is now 6 for the Lions, 23-17. As Jack Fox is going to kick this one off. Going to be taken from about the 5-yard line, and the return is actually going to take a decent amount of time and leave the Eagles with only 3 seconds left. Eagles are going to be in victory formation here, decide not to go for any Hail Mary on the last play of the half, and that is going to bring up halftime on this Sunday night primetime. The visiting Lions ahead by 6 with a 23-17 lead. Taking a look at some of the plays from the half, we've got the big stop by the Eagles at the beginning, followed by the touchdown by the backup running back when Barkley wanted to take a break, and then Jahmyr Gibbs on the 68-yard run, definitely the biggest play of the game. He is already at 100 yards on the evening. But let's see what he can do when given another half of football to play. Jake Elliott going to kick this one off as the Lions are set to receive for the start of the half. Going to be taken out of the end zone and going to be brought all the way down to the 30. Taking a look at the rushing yard stat leaders on the season, Jahmyr Gibbs is in a class by himself, with the rookie Ashton Genty also putting together a very solid season so far. But you can't beat a man like Jahmyr Gibbs, the absolute speed demon. And he is going to take a moment to show us why yet again. That one going to be 22 yards on yet another game. And that is going to be a first down on the first play of the game. Why not hand it off to Jahmyr Gibbs yet again? He's going to get another 7 yards on that one. And that is going to bring up 2nd and 3 from the Eagles' 42-yard line. Goff going to hand it off once again. And that one is going to be a loss of 1. Goff now alone in the backfield. Going to motion David Montgomery to his right. And going to motion him again out to the left. Going to quickly throw one over the middle, and that is going to be Jameson Williams with yet another catch. And that one is going to be for another large gain. That was about 25 yards. And that is going to bring up 1st and 10 for the Lions. Just a quick little bullet over the middle, and then he was able to beat out Cooper DeJean, proving once again that the race barrier exists for the safety position. We're going to skip over that real quick. 1st and 10 for the Lions now. Going to hand it off to Jahmyr Gibbs, who is going to break multiple tackles. 3 men are not enough to stop him, as he is going to get yet another touchdown on the evening. I mean, I thought he was going to be tackled just before, but that is Blankenship, DeJean, and Mitchell all unable to bring the man down, as that is going to be yet another touchdown for Jahmyr Gibbs. He's already got 2 on the night. And making up for the missed extra point a while ago, Dan Campbell is going to choose to go for 2 here. And he is going to just put himself yet another point in the hole there. The lead's still 2 scores, but now it is 12 points instead of potentially 13. And Dan Campbell seems a little unhappy with that. Jack Fox is going to kick off for the Lions here. Ball is going to be fielded from about the 2-yard line, and it is going to be brought all the way out to about the 28. Taking a look at the Eagles offense now, they haven't, as a team, committed that many penalties, with only 33 yards per game. Pretty awkward 7 yards of penalties from that one pass interference at the beginning of the game. But other than that, they've been playing clean football, which is slightly out of character for the Eagles. That first down pass there going to be falling dead. And that is going to be number 68 on the offensive line. That is Mailata, who went down twice earlier in the game, and it looks like that third time is going to be what unfortunately takes him out for the remainder of the game. Hurts now back lined up to his left, going to throw, and just that's a heads-up play right there that Saquon Barkley was just not able to get his hands on. Hurts now alone in the backfield, going to look to pass. Got time, and that is going to be blocked by number 61. He just got an absolute jump, for lack of a better term, on Jalen Hurts, and that ball is going to fall dead. 3 and out for the Eagles, not what you want to see when you're down 10, as the punt is going to be taken from about the 28 and be brought out to about the 30.
The Lions take over 1st and 10.
The Lions have had not the greatest red zone efficiency so far this season, only 34%. But this game, they have been absolutely killing it with a 60% efficiency in the red zone. However, you first need to be in the red zone, and Jahmyr Gibbs has prevented a good amount of that by just taking it in from outside it. Goff going to throw on the first play of the drive, and that is going to be Sam Laporta on the left side for about 15 yards on that game.
That's good.
Goff going to hand it off now to Montgomery, who's going to get a solid gain there of about 6 yards. Manu seems to be getting into a bit of a scuffle with the Eagles defensive line. But that is going to bring up 2nd and 4 now. Goff under center. Going to hand it off to the other backup running back. That is Sione Vaki. Backup for both Gibbs and Montgomery. Going to get about 12 yards on that gain. And going to bring up 1st and 10 for the Lions. Goff now under center, man in the backfield. It is Vaki again, who's going to try to get even more yards, but is going to be stopped for no gain. 2nd and 10 now. Goff in the back line up to his left. Jahmyr Gibbs seems to be back in the game now. Going to motion him to the right side. Goff's going to look to pass. Going to fire quickly to Gibbs on that right side. And he is going to get just enough for a 1st down. About 10 yards exactly there. Going to bring up yet another 1st down for the Lions. From the 26-yard line now, Goff under center, Montgomery in the backfield, going to hand it off to Montgomery, who's going to power through one tackle and get out to about the 21. 2nd and 5 now. Goff going to motion Laporta to the left side. Hand it off to Vaki again, who is going to lose 2 yards there. Robinson on the tackle there. Going to bring up 3rd and 7. Goff back lined up to his left. Throw over the middle, intended for Jameson Williams, but was unable to keep his hands on him. 4th and 7 now. Dan Campbell is going to choose to go for the field goal here. The kick is going to be up, and it is going to be no good. Jesse Bates is not having a good game. He missed an extra point and then missed that field goal there, so the lead remains at 12 points as Hurts is going to start this next drive here for the Eagles. As I said just a second ago, 12-point deficit with 6:50 left in the third. You want to start making some points on the board right now, and that is not how you do it. As Matz is going to take down Barkley for a loss of 2 yards there. 2nd and 12 now. Hurts with a back line up to his left. Going to motion out to the right side. Hurts now going to throw down the sideline to Barkley, who manages to moss Will Campbell and take it in. Offensive Player of the Year last year, showing why he still got it as he emotes right in front of the camera. Just absolutely jumped over Jack Campbell there and then ran it in himself. That was about 70 yards on that catch, and that is just what the Eagles needed to get themselves back into this game. Point after attempts now by Jake Elliott. He has not had any problems so far this game. 51 seconds is all they need on that drive to bring this back to a one-score game. Kickoff now, going to be fielded from about the 2 or 3 yard line. It's going to be brought out to about the 26. Vaki on the return. Taking a look at Gibbs' stats from this game. 13.4 yards per carry. Just a little bit. A respectable stat, but nothing too crazy. And 2 touchdowns, which is about average for a running back in this league. He could definitely be doing better. Goff going to hand it off to Gibbs here, and he is going to be stopped for no gain. One of the few times the Eagles' defensive line has actually been able to stop Gibbs so far this game. This is going to bring up 2nd and 10. Goff going to motion Gibbs to his left side now. And going to motion, I believe that was Patrick in, but that is going to be a delay of game. Goff just wasn't able to get the snap off on time. And that is going to bring up 2nd and 15 for the Lions. Goff now, back lined up to his left from his own 21, going to look to pass here. And he is going to be sacked. First sack of the game for this Eagles defensive line. And that is going to be another loss, that time of 7 yards. And it is going to bring up 3rd and 22 now, as Goff is going to have a long way to go here, alone in the backfield, looking to pass. Just going to fire a bullet real quick to Jameson Williams and get about 8 yards there. That is going to bring up 4th and 16 now from the 20-yard line. Nice 3 and out that the Eagles defense managed to get there. Punt is away from about the 10-yard line. It's going to be taken from about the 25 and be brought all the way to the 37. Jalen Hurts now taking a look at his stats from this game so far. Completion percentage has not been ideal, but he has gotten plenty of yards and 2 touchdowns on the day. Hurts now going to fake the handoff to Saquon Barkley, and then pitch it to Devonta Smith, who's going to get about 4 yards on that play. That was a lot of smoke and mirrors. I thought Hurts was going to run that himself, and then he just gave it to Devonta Smith there. And that gain of 4 is going to bring up 2nd and 6. Hurts now going to actually hand it off to Saquon Barkley, who's going to break multiple tackles and get enough for a first down. 8 yards on that play, going to bring up 1st and 10. Hurts now under center, 2 men in the backfield for 1st and 10. Hand off to Saquon Barkley, who's going to get about 7 yards on that one, down to about the Lions' 45. It's going to bring up 2nd and 3 here now. Hurts under center, running back in the backfield, going to motion A.J. Brown to the right side. Going to hand it off to the backup running back. Will Shipley on the carry is going to be tackled by Jack Campbell for yet another loss. Hurts now back lined up to his right for 3rd and 4 here. Going to look to pass. There's going to be Shipley on the right side, and he's going to get just enough for a first down. It's going to bring up 1st and 10 now. Clock ticking down in the corner. Going to hand it off to Shipley again, who is off to the races on the left side. And that is going to be yet another touchdown for the backup. That one, a lot more impressive than the last. That speed rivaled Jahmyr Gibbs there. Got out to the left side about 40 yards on that run. And that is going to give the Eagles the lead here. They're going to choose to go for the 2-point conversion. Just a quick throw to the left side, and Hurts is unable to complete that. And that is going to bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter, with this game all of a sudden being a lot more interesting. 1-point lead for the home Eagles. And the Lions, who have not yet lost a game since week 1, are looking to be in a little bit of hot water here. Jahmyr Gibbs loving this home crowd here, but now the win is in jeopardy. Jake Elliott is going to kick off to start this 4th quarter, same way the 3rd quarter started, in fact. Ball's going to be taken from about the 2-yard line and going to be brought out to about the 25. Taking a look at Gibbs as he is officially past 1,000 yards on the season. First running back in the league to hit that this season, and it is pretty early considering it is only week 11. 1st and 10 now. Goff going to look to pass. Going to fire over the middle towards Jahmyr Gibbs, but is going to bounce off multiple people on the offensive and defensive line and fall dead. 2nd and 10 now. Goff with the back lined up to his left. Going to motion. I think Samuel Porta got a little lost there as he, I think, motioned all the way to the sideline. I don't know if they had an extra man on the field and he was just trying to get off, but he did manage to do so. He is going to throw it there, and that is going to be caught by Samuel Porta, the running man, for about 10 yards. 4th and inches. Dan Campbell is actually going to decide to not go for this, which is very unlike him. The punt is going to be taken from about the 22, and he's going to be tackled at about the 25. Maybe he trusts his defense more, which under most circumstances I would understand. But this Eagles offense is nothing to sneeze at, so you better hope he made the right decision. Hurts under center, 2 men in the backfield, going to motion the backup tight end to the right. Hand it off to Saquon Barkley, who's going to juke out of the way of multiple men and get about 15 yards there. Going to bring up 1st down from the Eagles' 40. Dan Campbell might be regretting not going for the 4th down now. Hurts going to hand it off again to Barkley, but that time he is going to be stuffed by Jack Campbell for no gain. 2nd and 10 now. Hurts alone in the backfield. Going to look to pass here. Going to throw over the middle, and that is going to be caught by Dallas Goedert. Hurts was hit while he threw, but he was still able to get that one off, as Goedert is very happy with that one. Able to catch it just before he got hit by the linebacker there. And that is going to bring up 1st and 10 from inside Lions territory. Hurts now under center, 2 men in the backfield. Going to hand it off to Shipley again, who is going to be stopped for no gain on that play. He's going to bring up 2nd and 10 now from the 47-yard line. Hurts now back lined up to his right. Going to motion Devonta Smith to the left side. Hurts looking to pass, throwing deep down the left sideline. intended for Devonta Smith, bounced around on his back for a little. And just a bit of respect there from Reed Jr. and Devonta Smith. Both players of equal caliber, both being quite good. And they just seem to be exhorting good sportsmanship there. Hurts now going to throw to the right side to Shipley, who's going to manage to get almost enough for the first down. And Nick Sirianni is actually going to choose to go for this one here on 4th down. 4th and 1. Lions going to shift into a bit more of a blitz. Going to be thrown to the left side, and that is going to be the backup running back who is going to go all the way. That is Keelan Robinson with a 40-yard catch right there. All they needed was 1 yard, and Robinson decided he was going to be a philanthropic and give them just a little bit more. Elliott now on this point after attempt. It is good, and the Lions are suddenly down 8. They need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to even force this one into overtime. But Dan Campbell has plenty of tricks in his bag, and it is not impossible. Drive is going to be starting from the 19-yard line. Taking a look at Gibbs' stats on the day again. He only had 1 rush on that last drive, and it was stuffed for no gain, so very little has changed in his stats. Goff on a very important drive now. 1st and 10, back lined up to his left. Going to look to pass here. Going to have time in the pocket. Throw, and Jamison Williams is going to get rotated like he's in a blender there by the defensive player. Unable to keep his hands on it as he experiences 5 Gs of rotational energy. And the handoff to Gibbs is also going to go nowhere. Tackled by Robinson, the 3rd one on the Eagles roster, as it's going to bring up 3rd and 12. Goff now back lined up to his left. That's Gibbs again. Going to look to pass here. Caught over the middle. That is Tim Patrick there with just enough for the first down and a little bit more. That was what the Lions needed right there. Just a quick pass over the middle and a few yards after completion, getting him enough for the first. 1st and 10 now. Goff, 2 men in the backfield, under center now. Going to choose to hand it off to Gibbs, who's going to get a bit of motion, and he's going to be tackled after a gain of 8 by DeJean and another one of the Eagles' defensive players. Montgomery going to take the handoff there and get just enough for the first down. He was tackled almost immediately after getting it by, I believe that was number 25 on the Lions defense, or on the Eagles defense, sorry. Yet another first down here. Goff under center, going to motion to one of the tight ends right. Going to hand it off to Montgomery again, and he is going to get yet another solid gain there. That one for about 6 yards, as it is going to bring up 2nd and 4. Goff's going to look to pass here. Pocket collapsing. He's just going to choose to get rid of it. Sam Laporte is going to give it an old college try and try to get the catch, but it was not enough. 3rd and 4 now. Goff back lined up to his right. Going to motion him to the left side now. I'm going to motion Tim Patrick in a little bit as well. Goff is going to just quickly pass over the middle. It's going to be caught by Vaki, but there is a penalty, and it is going to be holding on that offensive line. Christian Mahogany, a very costly mistake there. Going to bring up 3rd and 14 instead of 4 now. Goff now back lined up to his left, and the ball is going to come out after the sack. And that is going to be yet another loss of 5 there. That was Hunt, Gibson, and Smith there. And the Eagles fan base is absolutely popping off right now. They came into this game, while definitely a solid team, going up against an absolute juggernaut in the league. And they have been holding their own. 5:40 left in the game, and they are up by 8. Taking a look at Jalen Hurts' stats again. Completion rate has gotten a little bit better since that last drive, and he has officially passed 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. Definitely one of his better games on the season. Definitely thanks to the work of the offensive coordinator. However, I don't agree with that play call right there, as that is a loss of 4 there. Unfortunate play right there. Intended QB sneak, but that is going to be a loss of 4 on the keep. 2nd and 14 now. Hurts with the back line up to his left. Going to motion Goddard out to the right side. Going to pass it to Goddard, who's going to get about 3 yards on that one. 3rd and 11 now. Hurts going to motion Barkley out to the right side, now alone in the backfield. Going to just throw over the middle, and that is going to be caught by A.J. Brown on the jump ball there, able to get the catch, and that is going to be enough for the first down. That is not what you want to be letting up if you are the Lions defense. You don't want to be letting up much of anything right now, as any lead is very unstable. First and 10 now. Hurts under center. Barkley in the backfield. Going to choose to hand it off to Barkley, and he is going to get about 4 yards on that run. 2nd and 6 now. Hurts with the back line up to his left. They seem to definitely be trying to chew clock here. Going to motion A.J. Brown over. Fake the handoff to Brown. And going to hand it off to Barkley there, as Campbell is going to call his first time out of the half. 29-37 here. The Lions might need a miracle if they want to even send this one into overtime, as we have 3rd and 5 now. The Lions need to get this defensive stop. Hurts is going to look to pass, fire over the middle, and A.J. Brown is going to be stopped with inches left. It's going to bring up 4th and inches now. And Sirianni is going to decide if he wants to go for this. He's going to choose to not, in fact. Punt is away from the 35-yard line. It's going to be called for a fair catch, but it is going to take a very unfortunate bounce. And Jared Goff is going to have a little more than 2 minutes to do a 90-yard drive. Time to see if he has it in him. 1st and 10, starting under center. Gibbs in the backfield, going to motion Laporta to the left side. Going to fake the handoff. And that ball is going to be tipped, and Gibbs is actually going to be able to catch that. Task failed successfully there. Intended for Gibbs, tipped, and he still manages to catch it. That is going to bring us down to the 2-minute warning after that really weird play that Gibbs managed to turn into something. Definitely a quality you love seeing in your offensive men. Goff going to choose to pass here. Throw quickly to Sam Laporta, who is going to get enough for a first down. And that is going to bring up 1st and 10 from the 25. Goff going to throw yet another quick one. That one to Tim Patrick, down to the 34. Goff now, Gibbs on his left. Going to look to pass yet again. And Gibbs is going to be unable to block, as that is Linson, who he was unable to block, as Goff gets sacked there. Campbell choosing not to call a timeout there. It's going to bring up 4th and 1 now. This could be the final play of the game. Goff backlined up to his left. Going to quickly fire over the middle. That is going to be Jamison Williams on the catch, getting that one down to midfield. Offense running now, 40 seconds left, starting 1st and 10 from midfield, and Goff is just going to spike this one. Clock stopped at 39 seconds left. Goff now with an actual play call. Gibbs on his right, going to shift St. Brown, and I believe that was Calcaterra on the right side. Going to be the pass to St. Brown, one of his first major plays of the game. Going to be 10 yards for the first down. Passing 30 seconds now. Goff is going to choose to spike this again. 27 seconds left now. Goff alone in the backfield. 5 wide now. Looking to pass. Goff going to throw over the middle. That is going to be Calcaterra. Sorry, that is Parkinson. And Campbell is going to call his final timeout of the game. 20 seconds left, 20 yards to go for the touchdown. Goff going to look to pass here, and he is going to be sacked just as you run out of timeouts. That is the last thing you want to see. Goff is just going to choose to spike it here as we have 11 seconds and 27 yards to go now. This offensive line needs to play like a stronghold now, as Goff is just going to choose to throw that one away. 4th and 16 now. Potentially the final play of the game. Goff backlined up to his left. 4th and 16. 8 seconds on the clock. What has he got? Throwing down to the end zone. And it is going to be caught. There is a flag on the play, though. That is going to be Tim Patrick if it isn't called back. There was a penalty. We're going to take a look at what that is now.
Pass interference.
And it is pass interference on the defense. And that is going to be Quinyon Mitchell, the man who got the defensive pass interference earlier in the game. And that is going to bring up potentially the last play of the game here. 2-point conversion to force the game to go into overtime. And Gibbs is going to be unable to get it. Davis on the tackle. And that just might seal the game, barring Tangan Campbell getting very lucky here. Jahmyr Gibbs, who has been the absolute player for this offense, just got swallowed up on the most important play of the game. Onside kick now. And that is going to be Devonta Smith getting the ball. And Jalen Hurts is going to kneel this one down. The absolute powerhouse Lions are going to take their first loss of the season since week 1. Nick Sirianni very happy, Dan Campbell very unhappy. They're still both going to act very sportsmanlike as they handshake in the middle of the field. But that is going to be the first loss for the Lions in a while. And that is going to bring Sunday Night Football to a close. I'm your host, AJ. Thank you so much for watching. It's an Eagles win here for the Green fans at home, as they get exactly what they wanted. 35-33. The Eagles jump to 6-4. And with that, I'm your host, AJ. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you